Hello. How's everybody doing? I'm running a minute or two late. That's all right. Not a problem. Hello, everyone. This is Brad. Welcome to The Bad Show. Because you gotta love a show that's actually called The Bad Show. Anyway, I got a few things to talk about today. I'm gonna rearrange it a little bit. Of course, there's one topic you know I'm gonna talk about. I talked about it last week. I talk about it pretty much every week. But let's get some of the lesser ones out of the way. Because this one is more just like a what kind of announcement. We've got some kind of crossover that's supposed to be happening in the new season of Ninjala with Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, that's kind of, random. I'm curious to see what they're going to do. Now, I've only played a little bit of Ninjala. I was lucky enough to get to do the open beta they did. The first one, which was pretty much a disaster. The second one, I got in, I think, at the very last, like in the last hour, and got to play a few rounds. Uh-oh, chat box is making me sign back in. I didn't have to do this yesterday when I was streaming Spyro. Hopefully it'll take. Anyway, I haven't played a whole lot of Ninjala. I do have some footage I've recorded to upload to YouTube, but it's not a lot. But I do want to play more of it. I don't think I'm going to take like the Fortnite route and do these battle passes with it, because I'm not that interested in it. Look, it's a fun game, and I do want to play more of it whenever I can, whenever I get the chance. It's just I don't think I'm going to spend a whole lot of money on it. But it depends on what they're going to do here with this Sonic the Hedgehog crossover. I need more information. I mean, it's always cool to see crossovers just in general, because they always appeal to people. Anytime there's any sort of inkling of a crossover, people get excited. And I think that's why you have things, like I said, why Fortnite is super popular. They're in the middle of a big crossover right now, and kind of have been for a while. There's the whole Marvel vs. Capcom whole series. There's a reason that's popular. Yes, it's a good game, but there's also the appeal of having these different characters that shouldn't be together actually being together. But this one's kind of just weird, I guess, because Ninjala it's not really, I don't know what you would call new. It hasn't been out a long time, but we've known about it for a while. Like, I think they announced it last summer. I think they announced it. Let's see, what was it during E3? The last E3? I know they announced it and then it got delayed. Or they put like some like real, not solid release date. But we knew about Ninjala for a little while. But I still wouldn't say that it's necessarily a big title. But hey, you know what? Throwing Sonic in there could breathe some life into the game. I wonder though, what are they gonna do? Is it gonna be like Sonic themed costumes, sort of like the Smash Brothers Mii outfits, or are you gonna actually get to play the game as Sonic? With because all those characters have voices. That would be pretty interesting if you could play as Sonic and have like Sonic's actual voice actor come in and do voiceover for him, or any of the other characters. That would be interesting. I don't know if that would be what they would do, but I don't know. Would people get excited about just Sonic outfits? I mean, that's how I'm looking at it. Would you rather play as, hey, this is Sonic the Hedgehog, or would you rather play as your standard ninja character just with a Sonic-inspired outfit? Like, that's what I'm looking at it as. Although there are a little bit of similarities between Sonic and Ninjala, because you can go in and those big floating robots. Sonic's whole deal is fighting robots that Eggman invents and everything. So I can see where they would get the idea to want to do this. I know people have been clamoring for a new Sonic game, but this isn't exactly it, though. Who knows? This could just be some little time filler thing. I don't know. I want to see more of this, though. I want to see what they're actually planning to do. So I guess that's really all I can say on that. It's just something to keep an eye on. But this was something else. Another game that hasn't been out. Apparently, it's only been out for about a month. No Straight Roads. Apparently, it's coming to the Switch. Now, I hadn't heard about this game before I saw the Nintendo Twitter account post a trailer for the Switch announcement. I didn't know. Apparently, it's been out since June. I had not seen it before. But I really liked the trailer they posted. I like the art style, the characters, and the whole theme. Like they're trying to be a rock band, and they're being told, you're not good enough, and they're trying to stick it to the man, basically. That's like every rock band in history has tried to do. So I think it's interesting. It looks to me, and I could be wrong, like a hack and slash kind of game. I don't think it's like what are the kind of games that where you play to the music? Not it's like the new Kingdom Hearts game, Melody of Memories. Like I don't think that is this. It's like because it seems more hack and slashy, at least to me. But mostly, I just was interested in it because the character designs look really good. There's a lot of really colorful characters, and it just looks really good to me. And this is one of the things I talk about where, a game like this I had not even heard of before. And the only reason that I got interested in it is because visually it looks really creative. Like the characters are full of life. And that's sometimes all I need to want to check a game out. So I want to see this. I don't remember. I tried to look up the price. I think it's like $35 on Steam. I don't know if that's actually what it is or not. I feel like that's kind of a little bit too much to just check a game out on the whim, though. Like I'm willing to pay for a game, but it's just I gotta feel like okay, this game I think is cool looking, but at the same time I don't know a lot about it, so I don't want to just throw money at it right off the bat. But I don't know if they could drop it a little bit. I think that would be fine. It's like that. What is it? Temtem, the not Pokemon game. Like I want to play that, but it was $35. I know that one was definitely $35 on Steam, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to play, not Pokemon for $35. It looks fine. Like I said, I don't have anything against like the Temtem game being basically just Pokemon. It's Pokemon without calling it Pokemon. But I don't know. I'm weird. I always like juggle the weight of how much things cost out of how much entertainment I think I'm gonna get out of them. But sometimes like unknown games like this, where the like it visually is impressive, but I would need to know more about the actual game, to check it out. But anyway, I thought that was just a fun little thing that came across my timeline. From what I saw, people commenting on it is that the game is I saw some comments saying that they wish the game was better. Like they like the story, they like the characters, just that the gameplay is kind of just not all that wonderful, or it doesn't stand out very much. So people were kind of like having the same opinion as me, is that they were like, oh, this really looks cool. But then they actually played it, and it was kind of, it's so-so. So I don't know. That's one of those things where you can't really let somebody else's opinion, get in your head. You got to try to, be fair and form your own, thoughts on that stuff. So I don't know. I do want to check this out. What else we got here? Oh yeah, I guess we can, since we're talking about the Switch, we can move on to the next bit, which is one of the bigger topics. Is supposedly there's a new Switch on the way, a more powerful Switch. That rumored Switch Pro that we've been hearing about for a while. I don't know if they're gonna call it that, but supposedly that's what this is gonna be. I don't really know what to say about it other than it would be a big deal for people. Like anytime there's a new system coming. Although with Nintendo, you don't really know. Like the base Nintendo Switch is already a juggernaut. The Switch Lites worked, and there definitely has been a call for a Switch Pro. One that maybe is strictly for TV play. It doesn't have the portability, and that way you can focus on getting more out of the graphics. And I don't know what else you could do with it other than I think Switches have a problem with overheating. So I haven't had that problem with it yet. I don't think I've had a problem with my Switch overheating to the point that it actually shut off. But I have noticed it's gotten hot a few times, or warm. It's gotten warm. But excuse me. It is interesting. I'm sure it'll make them a lot of money. Like, what was it not that long ago that they revealed that the Switch has officially outsold the NES? Like, that's crazy. And I can understand that. I'm trying to figure out the best way to word this, because I think it's kind of unfair to compare those to a point, because it seems like these days more people are playing games even if they don't consider themselves gamers. Like, you could see just regular folks will have a Switch just because it's it's portable, it's convenient. You can play the latest Pokemon, Zelda, the big titles in your hand. Like Skyrim there's a Skyrim on the Switch. You can take that with you. I mean, it's just, I think so, which that is a good thing for in terms of business for Nintendo, that more people are willing to buy their console, and it makes that it's got that broad appeal. As more people are mobile gaming is a big deal, even though personally it seems like I see more complaints that mobile gaming is just money grab stuff, especially after like Super Mario Run, and everybody's like, ooh, like this game is terrible. And Mario Kart, what's the mobile Mario Kart where they charge you to buy every character? And they keep adding characters. There's like doctor variants of like every single character now in that game. Or is that a different game? I think it's a different game. Never mind. But there are like a whole bunch of characters in Mario in the mobile Mario Kart, and you do have to buy them. I think specifically the one I remember people complaining the most about was Diddy Kong. There was something about Diddy Kong that had people really upset, and I can't remember what that was. It was something to do with like the rarity of getting him or something like that. Like, it was incredibly rare that you would get the opportunity to unlock him or something like that. And I could be completely wrong, but there was something to do with Diddy. But I don't know. Like, I like the Switch I have. I know that they've already like gotten better versions of it, and you can go trade it in and everything. But I mean, I'm not that worried about something like that. As long as my Switch doesn't like burst into flames, then I'll be all right. This is honestly, the Switch has become one of my favorite consoles ever. Just, I think that the whole gimmick with the Joy-Cons, slide on, slide off, you can have it on your TV or just pull it out of the port and play it like right there, take it with you. And it's just a cool console. And I like the fact that when they originally presented it, they showed how they took inspiration from all of their past consoles and basically took the best elements of each of the old ones and combined them into this. And so it was, basically just brilliant marketing. Which goes to show you, sometimes all you got to do is know how to sell what you're trying to sell people, and it'll work. Like, I think the Wii had a really good campaign. The whole "we would like to play" thing was great. I mean, it got people's attention, and the Wii did fairly well. The Wii U did not, because if you remember the Wii U, they literally had to make commercials to explain to people that the Wii U was not just an upgraded Wii, and it was an entirely new system. Like, that's how you know that you failed marketing your product, is when you're having to literally make educational videos instead of just a commercial saying, "Oh, here's a game." Like, it's just they bad name for a console. I mean, I don't even know why they decided the Wii U. It's the same thing with like the Nintendo DS. Like, don't tie your consoles to each other like that. Like, because the DS was its own thing, but the 3DS was a new console. It was new. It was supposed, like of course, it could play the old games, the original DS games, but it was supposed to be considered its own separate thing. Just like you wouldn't have called the DS a Game Boy, even though you could put Game Boy Advance games in the bottom what you call that, cartridge holder, cartridge slot, whatever. Because of course the Game Boy Advance and DS cartridges are completely different. DS cartridges are flat, square, whereas the Game Boy Advance cartridges are wide and what about maybe a half-inch thick, maybe. So completely different, cartridges to read, but it had two slots. But of course, you didn't call it, the DS, the Game Boy DS, or whatever they wanted, whatever somebody may have come up with. Thankfully, nobody got confused about that switch over. But and then of course you get into stuff like the Nintendo. What was it? What was that one that is like the new DS? I think that they called it that. The Nintendo New 3DS or something like that. 3D XL or something. And then there was the 2DS, which was, a 3DS that did not fold and did not have the 3D feature because people were worried that it would give their kids headaches or something. Which is funny because it's weird when you think about it, because they sold the 3DS on that 3D feature, that I don't think that many people actually liked the 3D feature. And like that itself, like every now and then I would turn it on, but like when I was playing like Pokemon Omega Ruby, like if you turn that thing on, it would like drop the frame, like the games would start lagging. It was pretty bad. And in a lot of the games that I had, there was no 3D feature. Like, it helped in like Super Mario 3D Land, and I think maybe a few other games where you specifically had to turn it on in order to, get through a puzzle. But I don't know. I liked it. It was kind of cool to have that 3D effect built into the machine, but I most of the time just never used it. But anyway, I think I don't know. There's a lot of console stuff. Like, we still don't know. Like, I think, what was it? No, I can't remember which one is supposed to come out first. We still don't know anything about the prices of the PS5 or the new Xbox. Supposedly one of them will come out in November. So, we're almost into September. So we're about 2 months away from this thing dropping, one of them, and we don't know. We have no idea what the price of either of them will be. So that's kind of crazy that they're just willing to just keep that price hidden. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Like, maybe they know it's going to cost an arm and a leg, and they're just trying to hold off as long as they can. But see, the problem is that the longer you hold off on telling people that price, the less time people have to prepare for it. A lot of people are going to be like, okay, I'm going to get this, but I need to know how much it costs so I know how much money to put aside. And if the price is going to be up there, then people are going to need to have time to prepare to bust out that wallet. I don't know. So, a lot of new consoles coming. I just hope, and this is a little bit of a different topic. I just hope that Nintendo plans to keep the Switch around for a while. I think it would be a mistake to move on so quickly. I know the console is 3.5 years old now. Like, there's no need to rush. Like, everybody loves this console. It's selling well. I think I saw somebody say something about Nintendo feels pretty confident that the Switch will hold its own against the PS5 and the new Xbox. So I say, just ride the Switch wave as long as you possibly can. I mean, I've probably said this on the show before. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. There's no reason to just upgrade stuff because the thing that gets me with the new consoles is that their big selling point a lot of the time for like Sony and Microsoft is game graphics. Like how smooth something looks or how realistic the graphics look. Like to me, that's not important. It's not that important. I could just as well go back and enjoy a really blocky Mario game. Or like yesterday, I was playing the original Spyro the Dragon where you could see the dragon's mouths half detached from their from their 3D model because that was just the limitations of the graphics at the time. I mean, to me that stuff, there's an appeal in the primitiveness of the old game models and stuff like that. And I know I said before, like if the Mario 3D All Stars is real, how would people react? Like if it's just, if Mario 64 is completely remastered to say Mario Odyssey's visual standards, will that turn people off or on? Because to me, I like the old graphics of Mario 64 because at the time they were revolutionary. That game set the bar for 3D gaming in general, and it's revered as one of the best video games of all time. But like as much as I love Mario Odyssey, that is a recent game. It's not an old game, and just there's an appeal to older graphic stuff. That's why I like Mario Maker, because you can actually build new courses in those old styles. And it's just like playing the old games, except it's new. Or like Sonic Mania, that's a good one since we talked about Sonic Mania. It's 2D Sonic. Everybody loved it. I mean, it looks exactly like classic Sonic. Of course, it's not exactly the same as classic Sonic, but that's, but still, people like the 2D pixel look. I mean, it's just, I don't know. But new Switch coming. I think it's confirmed now. For the longest time, it had been a rumor, and I think it's now like, yes, this is happening. So, I don't know. Hopefully the people that really wanted one, see, I probably won't get one just because I already have a regular Switch, but hopefully the people that are really interested in this and really want those higher graphics, like I said, it's not important to me, but some people it is, but, it is, to each their own. But, hopefully it does well for them. And lastly, last topic, which is kind of a broader topic because there's some smaller topics within it. Just a few days ago, we saw the start of the newest Fortnite season. Chapter 2, Season 4. It is entirely themed around Marvel. And the Marvel superheroes and villains. Or at least some of them. Now, they started teasing this about a week ago for sure. And with the teases of Galactus and Thor. So, the story going into this is that the island of which the battle royale takes place and where the story mode happens, or where the actual story within the game has taken place, is that I guess there is some sort of infinite energy source there, and Galactus has sensed it from across the multiverse, and he is coming to consume the island. That's why? Because that's what Galactus does. He eats worlds. And Thor has arrived to warn the inhabitants of the island that Galactus is on his way. But they're going to need help to fight him off. So what does he do? He calls different beings from across the continuities and across the Marvel world to come and join forces to take out Galactus with the Fortnite guys. So this is what the Battle Pass looks like. I think this is a good collection of characters. So, of course, you got the first one you get if you buy the Battle Pass is Thor. And the weird thing is like, this is not classic Thor. It looks like to me, it looks like the other heroes are more closer to their original forms. But this is a newer Thor. I don't really keep up with comic books that much, even though I like these heroes and these characters. I've always been like a fan of like the animated shows, but I've got nothing against the comics. I've looked into different comics and comic book characters, like lores and stuff. Like I've always found it interesting of like the hierarchy of superhero lore, like because there's superheroes, and there's superheroes who are as strong as gods, and then there are gods, and there are beings above that, and there's all sorts of backstory and even mythology within them. Like you've got Thor and the gods of Asgard, but then they have also, which one is it? The one above all is I think that's it. Yeah. I think that's Marvel's ultimate existence, is the one above all. And so they have all these deities, and they have all these ranks of deities, and they have, all these different classifications for who is ranked where, who has this level of power, what kind of power it is, like like Galactus wields the power cosmic. What is that? What is the power cosmic, and how strong does that make him? And then, of course, like I said, and then, as terrifying as Galactus is, then there's this other being who is, of course, the one above all, who can literally do whatever he wants, has complete control of everything, can take any form he wants, and exert as much or as little power as he wants, because he is the top existence. So I've always been interested in stuff like that, and when I write my own stories and come up with my own characters, I like to do a little bit of that too. But anyway, getting back to this, Thor is a newer design, and it looks like a cool design, and I was wondering what he would look like in game. It looks really good. His outfit has like this weird effect where it's like you could see like the stars. It's like a nighttime sky over his, the parts of his outfit that are like darker colored, and so it's a sort of a weird like visual effect, but it looks cool. But they added something here that each of these characters has a unique taunt, a unique emote that will change them, or something similar. Like Thor's, you have to level up and progress through the battle pass in order to unlock these taunts and emotes. But I like this because you basically, in some of the cases, you get like 2 skins for the price of 1, and you can just go between them. Like for Thor, you start out and you just have the Thor skin. Then you get some other stuff. At some point, you go and retrieve Mjolnir. Thor's trusty hammer. Now, a few days before the season started, the Fortnite map updated with a big crater where Mjolnir was just sitting, and it had no function at the time because Thor hadn't been added to the game, and there was a big, little thing about where people were going to check it out, and trying to lift the hammer, you know. Even though you can't physically go over there and actually touch it, it's just scenery at that point. But you have Thor. Once you progress to a certain point, you get a mission to go get the hammer. And once you get the hammer, you can use it as a harvesting tool. Which, of course, I like that stuff. They did the same thing kind of with Captain America and his shield. I still wish they would have done that with Deadpool and his swords. They didn't do that. But I still think I have the best harvesting tool for Deadpool, which is just a giant fork and knife. It's the best tools ever, just because it's just funny to me. But then after you get Mjolnir, there's a specific thing you have to do. You have to go to this one area and do his character specific taunt at that area, and you unlock a transformation. You get the emote that allows him to switch back and forth between his almighty form. See, I never knew that Thor had an almighty form. And all it is his skin and his hair turn blue, Mjolnir turns blue, and they become like sort of charged up with lightning energy. It's a cool effect, and the emote itself is cool. Like Thor, twirls his hammer around and then sticks it up in the sky, and then just this big burst of light. It's a cool effect. And apparently, from what I've seen of it, you can just turn it off and on whenever you want. As long as you do the taunt, he changes. You do the taunt again, he changes back. So it's 2 skins for the price of 1. That's always fun. And every character in the Battle Pass has something like that. Like, I can't remember what level I'm at, but the next character you unlock is She-Hulk. And her actual name escapes me right now. I don't know what her name is. You know what? I'm going to look it up. What is She-Hulk's name, Ghoul? Jennifer Susan Walters. I knew that her name had a W in there. I was looking at it, I was like, I want to say W. I almost said Winners, but I'm like, no, that can't be right. Jennifer Susan Walters. I don't know which one. It says Jennifer Walters here in the Marvel fandom. I don't know. Anyway, when you unlock her, you unlock the skin for Jennifer Walters. Well, the thing is, of course, she's like this, looks like a secretary, kinda. Just a lady in a fairly nice little outfit with glasses. Nothing too standout-ish. Kind of bland looking, to be honest. It's it's a lady in a fairly nice suit. Not a suit, but just, formal attire. But when you level up enough after unlocking that skin, you get her emote. And in the emote, she transforms into the She-Hulk. And is she's noticeably, jacked. I can't tell if she actually gets like taller or not. I think maybe just a slight bit, but almost all the skins in this game are about the same size because they're just skins. But it's a cool little thing. Who else is in there? I can't remember what order they all are in. I think the one after her is Groot. And he's kind of funny. He stands sideways. He looks just like he should. His emote is a little different. When you get his emote, Rocket Raccoon pops up out of nowhere and just sort of floats behind him. So Groot doesn't change, but he gains, a buddy to float around with him. And that's pretty fun. It's pretty unique for him. Who else is next? I'm not really sure I can't remember what order they're in. Let me just start from the left of the ones that I haven't discussed yet. Storm. I think her emote that she does, her eyes glow. And she like summons a wind, and then she gets like I don't know what you call it, like the little cape thing that's connected to her wrists. it looks kind of like a cape. I don't know if that's the proper term for it. I can't tell if that's her transformation, is that she just gains her that piece of her outfit, because it doesn't look like anything else changes about her. So I'm not sure. I would like to hope that, because like I don't know. Like I want all these characters to have some sort of change that happens when they do their emotes, because like I guess they're just trying to keep them all different, because not all the skins do the same thing. Like I said, Thor has this almighty form and all he does really is turn blue, whereas it's a completely different thing to see, Jennifer Walters, turn into the She-Hulk. But anyway, and by the way, all these skins look really, really good. These are some really good skins. Uh, Mystique. Don't know a lot about Mystique personally. All I know is she can transform. She can, she's a shapeshifter. Um, Again, good looking skin. Her ability, it says when you unlock her specific emote, that it's described as, take out your opponent and then assume their identity. And it shows her the demonstration of the emote that you get when you're going through the battle pass, just to look at what all's in it, shows her turning into the default Fortnite skin. So I don't know if this specifically will function in a way that she transforms into the last, the skin of the last person she took out. But that's a pretty cool effect. So I would assume this means if you're playing as Mystique and you take out who can I throw out there? Let's just say John Wick, because John Wick is a skin in this game. If you play as Mystique and kill a player that's using John Wick, then you could use your taunt and then become John Wick, even if you don't have that skin. Like, at least that would be a cool thing if that's the way that works. I mean, I don't know. I'm not there yet. I haven't looked into seeing how exactly that does work, but I would assume that's what they're doing with that. Anyway, that's a cool thing. Doctor Doom. They actually brought in, like, I know Mystique's a villain. As far as I know, she's a villain. But the whole thing with the X-Men is that they're all viewed as dangerous to society. So as far as I'm aware, Mystique is considered a villain. I don't know that, but I do know one, Doctor Doom, of course, villain. This crazy mix of like magic, the thing, like, his big emote is his throne comes up out of the ground, like this big grand throne, and he just sits there and just looks menacingly. It's a really cool looking thing, and there's like this ominous music playing, and you can just get the sense that he's plotting something, even if he's already won, he's already planning his next move. So that's a really cool effect there. To take a little break of a moment. Well, I guess I could talk about that later. Let's go through the rest of the battle pass. I already talked about She-Hulk and Thor. The last one is for this battle pass is Iron Man, and the way they do that is the first skin you unlock for him, the base skin, is just Tony Stark in like this sort of weird like body morph suit kind of thing, where it's just plain old Tony Stark in like a black skin tight suit. But his emote, of course, activates his power suit and he becomes Iron Man. So, like I said, I like the idea of transforming skins, especially the ones that, like, the more drastic ones. Like, I like the Iron Man transformation. I like the She-Hulk transformation. I hope the Mystique one is the way I think it is. And I do like, Groot doesn't change himself, but Rocket Raccoon shows up. So you're playing as two characters in one. And then of course we have like I guess this is like I don't know if you would call it the secret skin, but it's the same deal as the previous two seasons with Deadpool and Aquaman. Weekly challenges to unlock Wolverine. You have to clear all of the challenges every week to unlock Wolverine. And I think he looks good. His special emote allows you to replace whatever you've set your harvesting tool to with his claws. So that's really cool. Like he does some little pose and he summons his claws. So then if you do his emote, instead of whatever tool you've set for him, he'll use his claws. So that's a really cool effect too. Something else in the battle pass is there are variants of some of these skins. There's a variant of Jennifer Walters, where I think she's got like red highlights in her hair or something like that. It's not a major difference. It's her base form. It's not a major difference, but it's cool to have options. Who else was different? There's a punk. I think it's called punk look for Storm, where she does look like she looks like she belongs in some kind of like hard rock band. I've seen a look like that before. I don't know where that look is from. There's a similar look to that in Marvel vs. Capcom 3 or Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, where she has that look as a surprise, like an extra alt skin. Like I said, I don't know the story behind why she looks like that, but it does look cool. Mystique has an assassin outfit or some sort of, instead of this white sort of deal she's got on in her regular skin, it's black. I don't know if that's more of like from the movies or something like that. I don't know. What's the other one? There's like God Emperor Doom, where his outfit is like, there's a lot of white. And so I don't really know the story behind God Emperor Doom. Like, these are things I'm going to have to look up. But, what was the other one? Talked about Storm. Talked about She-Hulk. Oh, yeah, it was Retro Wolverine. So, like, the regular Wolverine that you unlock in the weekly passes is the one you see, the yellow and blue. But there's a Retro Wolverine you can unlock that looks like his original yellow and brown design. Which I had hoped they would do that with all the other characters. Like, any character in here that's got an iconic look, like Thor. Like, I was hoping there would be some variant there, but I guess they're trying to push the new Thor comic out that's going. So it makes sense that they maybe wouldn't do that. But I don't know. Like, they did the Batman skin, and there's the first one is default comic Batman, which is supposed to look more like the version of Batman from the comics. But then they also give you the Dark Knight Batman, which looks just like Christian Bale. So I don't know. But anyway, it's weird because there was also the promo for this. One of the original teaser images they posted also showed Captain America, but Captain America was introduced in this game in the last season, and in the same way too. This teleported to the island, so there was no story given for that. So it'll be interesting to see if he shows up like in later promos or something. But I kind of feel like Captain America, like, they use the excuse of the 4th of July, of course, that's just good. We talked about marketing earlier. That works, Hey, Captain America skin on the 4th of July. Makes sense to me. I think that was supposed to sort of be a foreshadowing of something like this, of this coming. So I'm curious to see who they're going to add, because we've already seen, supposedly now, and like I said, I don't know for sure because I know people fake stuff, but supposedly Silver Surfer is coming, and some people said it may be soon. I think people said they were able to find all the assets for him in the game, and that wouldn't surprise me because, of course, Silver Surfer is the herald of Galactus. So if Galactus is coming, you know, and there's going to be somebody to come and basically say, "Hey, this deity is coming," it's going to be his herald, his angel, more or less, you could say. But who else? I saw some people say they think Spider-Man's coming. I can't see why they like Spider-Man is kind of a big deal right now with the whole Spider-Verse thing. Um, and the games, the Spider-Man games. So it wouldn't surprise me if Spider-Man shows up. I don't think I've seen anything to solidly say that. I've seen people actually post like in-game models of Silver Surfer, so I was like, okay, that seems pretty real. But I don't know about that one. I saw somebody say they think Black Panther's coming. I don't know how people will feel about that, considering that just last night the actor who played Black Panther in the cinematic universe movies passed away. So I don't know if people would really, I don't know if people would, be happy that Black Panther could show up in this game, or if that would, kind of be like maybe not. So, I mean, I think it would be cool. I saw some people say if Black Panther is in the game, they should take whatever they make from the sales of the character and donate it to cancer, research. That would be a good idea. Something they could do, in honor of him specifically. But I don't know. What else we got? Oh yeah, just a few of the things that are different in the season. Like all of the regular characters, the Fortnite characters in the game are gone from like the two warring sides. What is it? Ghost and Shadow, I think. They're all gone, with the sole exception of like two of the henchmen are just like, I think there's two places where there's just one random henchman left over. Like I was playing and I just opened up a door in one of the places. Well, I can't remember, was it Retro Row or somewhere like that? I don't remember which place it was. And there was just this one guy, this one little henchman standing there using the Deadpool chimichangas emote, where it looked like he was just cooking some food to eat. And then he saw me and he tried to shoot me, but he was the only person there. And once he was gone, it was it. So the implication seems to be that Ghost and Shadow have abandoned the island. They're gone. So I guess they've evacuated out of fear of Galactus. Maybe they've all been defeated. I don't know. I don't know where the story's heading other than just this massive, confrontation with Galactus. I started to mention this earlier when I was talking about Doctor Doom, but Pleasant Park has been completely overtaken by Doom. There's a giant statue of Doom in the middle of the city, or the town, whatever. All the houses have security cameras. There's Doom henchmen roaming the streets. The underground base is where there's this big fort, and if you defeat, and there's a big castle mansion now where Doom's, that's basically Doom's hideout. And the whole thing here is that Doom himself is there in the city, and he's very powerful. He has his own unique moves. And so the deal is with Doom on the map is that he can use his magic. He doesn't have guns. He has literal magic, 2 different magic attacks, and when you have one of them equipped as your, active weapon, you can get like a mid-air mega jump that allows you to travel a little bit faster and have a second mid-air jump. That's actually like a way better jump than your standard jump. But you can't do it in quick succession. And then he has like this big evil energy spirit bomb kind of attack that you can only use every 20 seconds. If you use it, you have to wait 20 seconds. And of course, if you get into a fight with somebody, you can't wait 20 seconds for that to charge back up. So that's an interesting. He, from what I've seen, he's the only boss character on the map besides the loot sharks. They came back. The marauders are gone. There are no marauders. But there are sharks. The sharks are still there. I'm glad they're still there. Um, the only other major difference I can think of, then there's some stuff. There's some weird machines that have the Stark Enterprises logo on them. They're scattered around the map. You can't destroy them, so they're definitely going to be story oriented. There's a place in between some mountains that was just like this little area with just a house. It's now become known as the Sentinel Graveyard, where it's like 5 or 6 different Sentinels. I mean, these big robots. They're all just destroyed in ruins and in pieces. They're mostly intact, but most of them are either like missing an arm, missing a leg, and you can see the broken leg in the distance on the side, or the hand is, off to the side a little bit. It shows that they're like trying to function, and that they just are almost out of power. They can't move. But like their hands, I think, are still active in a lot of cases, and if you jump on their hand, which is pulsing energy, it'll give you a big boost. It'll like, I can't think of the proper word for it. Anyway, you can get a good jump off of those, and you can get a lot of distance from it by utilizing the Sentinel's power. But it's really cool to see like these giant robots laid just in just like rubble. It's a cool sight to see from a distance. Like I was like, oh wow, that's neat when I saw it when I jumped out during one of the games, and I hadn't noticed it before, and I was like in free fall, headed down. And when I saw it, I had to direct myself over there to say, oh, wow, that's cool. Let me go get a close-up look at that. So that's always fun. And then once you get into a game, there is one more big difference. When you get into a game and you're on the party bus, right away you have like 4 or 5 jets like whoosh past you. And you can't ignore them. The screen shakes. You hear them. They're loud. And then you see them if you pay attention. I didn't catch this the first few times I played. If you see, you can actually watch the jets land. And at these places where they land, Stark robots show up. And they have like these lasers that are powered by, Stark Enterprises, I guess you could say, because they're yellow and red, just like Iron Man. I don't know what the deal is with the robots, but anyway, you can go there, take out those guys. They serve as sort of a henchman too. I've seen them. I don't think they tend to roam like the Marauders do. They don't just roam, but I have seen them. I have seen them away from their ships. So I don't know how that works. I don't know if they just pursue you as long as they see you, like the Marauders do, but they tend to just hang around the their landing site. But like I said, they do roam a little bit, because I've seen them in places far away from where those ships land, or maybe not far away, but a good enough distance away that it's not that you wouldn't expect your standard henchmen to be that far away from the place they're guarding. So that's interesting. And those ships come with like these weird little drones. If you shoot them down, you can get supplies. But I think that's about it in terms of all the stuff that's different. I'm trying to think. Oh well, I think that's all this. I think that's all the changes. I hope I didn't forget anything, at least the major ones. But anyway, so something that's got me excited about this season of Fortnite is that, of course, I've talked about this before doing my Deadpool show, the Super Duper Happy Fun show, which the focus is on Deadpool. Well, now having all these characters and these different variants and transformations will make the show a lot more fun, I hope. A lot more character interactions. Like, we know Deadpool and Wolverine have some history. Of course, it'll be fun just to pit some of these characters against each other. Like imagine like Rocket Raccoon yelling at Deadpool, you know. And I'm sure there's all kinds of stuff that I could go look up, like based on old comics where some of these characters have crossed paths before. So that'll be fun. The other fun thing is like for my 5 minutes of Fortnite videos, like I always try to take a track from a game, and I don't want to run out of tracks to use. But this season will help me a lot. I could do a lot of character specific 5 minutes of Fortnite videos. Like I've already done one for Deadpool, I did one for Captain America, I did one for Aquaman, and I did one for not Black Panther, Black Manta. I plan on doing one for Batman at some point. And some of the other characters, just the ones that are iconic. I kind of wanted to do them with the. I did one for Agent Peely too. I wanted to do one for all the characters, but I just didn't get a chance. But I'll definitely do them for this character and this for this battle pass because I lucked up. Because what I did for the Deadpool and Captain America videos is I used the music I used for those was from Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Because each character has their own theme music. And lucky enough, with the exception of Mystique, all of these characters are, and Groot, with the exception of Mystique and Groot, those characters are all playable in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. So they all have a theme song I could use specifically for a video of them. But funny enough, Groot is not in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, but Rocket Raccoon is. And since Rocket Raccoon is part of the Groot skin, I can just use Rocket's theme for that, and it would work. Don't know what I would do for Mystique, but I could come up with something. Fun thing is, I'm also I think I might do a video where I just stay in the Sentinel graveyard the whole time, because the Sentinels were playable in Marvel vs. Capcom as well. And although it wouldn't be quite the same, it could be something. But I've got ideas, and this is a really cool battle pass. I'm glad they did this. I think some people are mad because they don't like the crossover stuff. But like I said, I talked about it at the I talked about it with the Sonic and the Ninjala thing. Crossovers work. They appeal to people because they're always cool. It's always cool to see characters that you shouldn't see together. Even if you ultimately get something that's not very good. Like the what was it called? The Cartoon All-Stars team up. The Super Cartoon All-Stars team up. That was a special that was like meant to hype up kids. And it was like it was this weird animated movie where you had Bugs Bunny, Alf, for some reason Alf was animated, Slimer from Ghostbusters, the Chipmunks, one of the Ninja Turtles, Huey, Dewey, and Louie from Disney, Winnie the Pooh and Tigger, I think. And it was somebody else. The Muppet Babies, I think. It was this weird collection of characters that, again, it's a crossover, so it's interesting, on its face. But it was hyped up as like this humongous like meeting of like this like oh my gosh, like this is incredible, like this has never been done before, never again kind of deal. And then what you ended up with was just like an anti-drug commercial, basically. The kid in the show that the movie's about is just he's trying marijuana or something like that. and that was the team up. The team up was for all these characters to get together to tell this kid marijuana's bad. It was like they had like an evil personification of marijuana was the villain. And I haven't watched it, but I've seen videos about it, and I've seen like, the artwork from the film. It's it's crazy. I'm not even sure if I want to watch it. I may watch it just one day just to see how terrible it actually is for myself. But thankfully is this Fortnite pass. I think that these work very well. I actually saw somebody like I said, I think the skins look awesome. I saw Kenny from Yo Video Games quote retweeted somebody had taken, posted images of the Fortnite designs for Storm and She-Hulk, I think, and Domino and Psylocke, which were part of the which were part of the chapter 2. I mean, season 2 came out right around the time Deadpool did, and said, he was like, what if the next Marvel vs. Capcom game used these models? Said, "Would you guys be happy or sad?" And apparently he got a lot of sad responses because he said something along the lines of, "You guys are crazy. Like these designs are really good." I'm like, yes, of course they are. They're great designs. So, I mean, I think that's also why they appeal to me too. Is just because, like I said, they look great. I like superhero stuff, even though I don't really keep up with the comics as much as I probably should. But anyway, this is going to be a fun battle pass, I think. And I'm kind of running over my time just a little bit. I'm curious to see exactly how they handle Galactus coming to the island, because I want to know if it's going to be just an event, sort of similar to the Device and the Travis Scott concert, because Galactus is a giant. He's huge. And the Travis Scott concert had him presented as a giant. He was walking all over the map. Of course, it was just a show, so there was no weapons. You couldn't fight him. You could just, all there was to do was watch. Even though you could move, you could be anywhere on the map you wanted to watch the show, but you couldn't fight. They disabled the fighting. But I'm curious if it will be another thing like that, or if you actually can fight Galactus, if you will be allowed in, and you're allowed to actually attack him, because this is a fight this time. The Travis Scott event was just a concert, so there was no fight. The Device was Midas, in story, it was Midas activating this thing. We really didn't have anything to do with it. But this time, the story is there's a fight to be had. So I'm curious as to how that's going to work. Like, I don't know much about the Thanos event that they did before. I know there was some kind of event where you could become Thanos. And it had something to do with, like, the Infinity Stones. Like, I think if you played as a team and you were either on Thanos' side or you weren't, and if you were on the side of Thanos, if you have all of the Infinity Stones, you can do the Thanos snap taunt and win instantly. You destroy everyone and you win the game. I don't know if there'll be something similar to that, where everybody teams up to take out Galactus. But that would be cool, I think. Even if it's just an event, it'll be fun to watch. But hopefully it'll be an interactive event where you can actually, or maybe your actions influence it, in some way. That way you can, like, feel like you actually had a hand in defeating Galactus instead of just watching. But considering they're pushing the whole thing, I think, or I won't say I think, I'm going to say I hope that we can actually fight Galactus in some way. But anyway, I'm running a little bit over my time, so that's going to do it for the show. But glad, hope you enjoy listening to me. I know I talk about Fortnite pretty much every show now, just because something, I hear something about it. But this new season has been kind of being hyped up for a little while. I'm sure there'll be more secret skins dropped. Like, we got a bunch. they had the whole, thing with Black Manta and Captain America last season, and then they, at the last minute for DC Fandom, they brought back the Batman and Harley Quinn and Catwoman thing, and then in the middle of DC Fandom, while they had brought back those old skins, they announced they're bringing in the Joker and Poison Ivy. So that won't be till October, I think. So, or maybe November. I think that's November. Anyway, supposedly this season will go on through till December. It's like, I think, early December. I think that's what I saw. That's a long time. So, we'll see what happens. Anyway, I'm excited for this. I'm excited for all the other gaming stuff. But that'll do it for the show. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching on Twitch, go check out my YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, go check out my Twitch. Just one little quick tidbit. I've decided to start streaming on certain days. Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays for now will be my stream days. At 5 p.m. Eastern. Not Eastern. 5 p.m. Central. I don't know what I'm saying. I think the way I'm going to do... I want to try to do live streams now. Try to build an audience on Twitch since I haven't. Of course, it streams through YouTube too. But, anyway. I'll be doing live streams at 5 of older games. Anything that I don't have to play online, anything that's not like super high quality, because due to internet issues, I can only stream at a lower visual quality, so I got to turn the quality down. But so I'm saving like really good looking stuff to upload to YouTube in HD. But anyway, Mondays probably will be for Mario, Monday Mario kind of deal. Any game featuring Mario, probably going to play on Mondays. Don't know what to do with Tuesday yet. Wednesday, this past Wednesday, I started Pokemon Coliseum. That's probably going to be my thing going on Wednesdays for now. Thursday's not going to do anything. That's the Fortnite stuff. They drop the new weekly challenges on Thursdays, so that's what I'll probably spend most of my Thursdays on. Friday, this past Friday, yesterday, I started Spyro the Dragon, the PS1 version. That's what I'm going to play on Fridays. And once I finish these games, I'll move on to another game. But that's just kind of the way things are going to work for now. I just thought doing live streams would help to grow my audience some. And I want to do more of those. But that's going to do it for the show now. I've extended the end enough. But thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe. Follow me. All that stuff. And until next time, we'll see you later.
Do the Mario, swing your arms from side to side. Come on, it's time to go. Do the Mario, take one step. And then again, let's do the Mario all together now. You got it. It's the Mario. Do the Mario, swing your arms from side to side. Come on, it's time to go. Do the Mario, take one step. And then again, let's do the Mario all together now. Come on now.